Good morning. Today is one of those days that you look forward to but you don't want to deal with. Today we are going to take Mr. Sherman in and we are going to go get some work done on her. So just like oil change, a couple doors need to be fixed, stuff like that. So we'll kind of list out the list for you. But we just wanted to let you know we have to be there around 8:30. It's a little before 7. So we are going to be heading that way now. There's never a dull moment. So as we're driving down the road, Jimmy and I notice that something is dragging in the back of the rig. So we see this is dragging. It's literally the connector piece that goes to the Jeep that helps to turn the brakes and stuff on. So I'm glad we stopped because we can easily fix this. This part, luckily it's capped, so it just kind of fell down and was dragging.
Yeah, because this thing came off, so I'm just gonna pull this up and we're gonna latch it back on around one of these. That should hold.
Yeah, I think that'll be fine. So all we did was we just took a piece of Velcro and just Velcroed it on there, but never a dull moment. I'm gonna fill up the gas tank. We're about at 1/4 the tank, and for us, that's kind of our threshold. If you get under that, you can't start the generator and those types of things. So while it's in the shop, we want to make sure they can check everything that they can. So without the generator, they're not going to be able to check how the generator's working and stuff. So we're going to go ahead and fill them up. Interview time. Since I'm not riding with them, I don't know what's going on. Is it driving different because it's empty?
It does drive a lot looser because it's empty. I don't know how to explain that any other way. It just feels looser. It feels a little wobbly with the wind. Because the couple thousand pounds we normally carry in it
is gone.
Is gone. You only have 300 pounds of me in there, and that's pretty much it.
And some toys.
And some toys. Everything else is emptied out. Besides that, it also takes bumps a little harder.
Oh, because there's not the weight to keep it lower.
So after you hit a bump, you're kind of doing this a little longer than normal.
I remember when we first bought the rig, we were doing that. We were like, how are we going to do this for hours and hours?
And lastly, which I'm going to have you go work on right now, there's a bunch of drawers that opened up during the ride. So, because we didn't latch him in because we weren't thinking about it.
I guess I'll go deal with that while he does gas. You've got to do your checks even when you do something quick. Because not doing your checks means something can open and something can fall. Always check. So I did go ahead and double check again that the cord is staying in the blue ox and it's doing fine. So I always want to check those kinds of things when we stop again because you want to make sure it's not going to come loose and have the same issue we've already had. So it's good, it's in there. You can see Scott Velcroed it really tight so it's not moving. No more issues. And I already went on Amazon to find a Blue Ox tow bag so that way it'll be safe. We don't know where ours is anymore because typically 99% of the time we're driving Mr. Sherman. We have Gronk right behind, so we pull our Jeep. But there is that 1% time that we won't, like when we're getting service and things. And we'd rather it all be okay and be safe for the next time we need to tow it rather than save the couple bucks on a bag because it's way more money in the long run if you gotta fix it.
On another note, with the RV being completely emptied out, is that it handles way differently like I mentioned earlier. And when you're test driving something of this size, this is probably a good tip for you. It's gonna handle better when you have a little bit more weight in the RV. It's made to carry weight on top of what the factory weight is. So you're gonna feel a little bit more bounce and you're gonna feel a little bit more sway and it's gonna feel a little looser in the steering wheel. It tightens up, trust me. So that's the tip for the newbies.
Say it again a different way, please.
Ugh. Fine. I have to point something out that drives me crazy.
Yes.
We go to get gas at an RV slot of a Love's and we have a top sale of $125. So what this means is I have to use the credit card twice or the debit card twice, scan it twice, and sometimes it doesn't let you do it twice. So you stop for gas with the 1/4 tank left. This is not enough to fill up the tank. So what happens is I have to either redo it again and start over, or I have to use a different card, which means we put things on our credit card that we don't want on our credit card. But the bottom line is, it drives me crazy. We need like a $200 limit. Love's $200 limit, please.
There you go. Well, here we are. We are at La Mesa RV. We're dropping Mr. Sherman off to get serviced. We went through our whole list, kind of marked everything that needed to be fixed, everything that needed to be done, and I think we're ready to roll.
We're ready to go home, live in a normal house for a couple weeks, and
What's that
then
like?
Shortly after Christmas, we will hit the road.
There we go.
So, all right.
Here we go.
With nothing else to say, that's it?
I don't have a lot to say today, I guess.
Why are you holding all these dishes?
Well, I didn't empty the oven, and we never used the oven to cook, so I had all my stuff in it.
We've used it one time in the last year to cook.
Yes.
One time.
I like my convection microwave.
Yes. Works good. All right.
So, Mr. Scott,
Yes.
how are you feeling about Mr. Sherman being gone for a while?
It's kind of like sending your daughter off to college. You know she's going to be okay. You know she'll come back better. But it could be expensive.
That's very true.
Yes.
Come with us on our adventures. Fun. My family, like I said, fulltimehealing.com. Subscribe. Hit the bell. Get notified.